What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Sanchez 405 coming at you. It is on the Warpath coming at you live today, and you see the title of the video. And the question is, church, is the NFL sleeping on our Washington Redskins? And before we get started with that, make sure you like, subscribe, share the video, hit that bell so you get notifications whenever we put up a live or any other videos. We'll be doing some Warpath reviews and all that good stuff coming up here soon because really there's nothing else better to do right now. So make sure those will be position previews and look at and overviews and all that good stuff. And then we will also be doing opponent. We'll be scouting the opponents as well. So what did all the Redskins opponents coming up in 2020 do this offseason? What are they looking to do, and how have they improved? Have they gotten worse? We will go and dive into those as well. Those will be pre-recorded videos, so we'll have some little nuggets in there for you. But going back to what I said earlier, are the Redskins is the NFL sleeping on the Redskins? And that's a complex question, and I'm going to unload that for you here. What's up, John Lynch? And no, the NFL is not sleeping on the Redskins. Okay, cool. My answer, and I'm not going to, and y'all know me, I'll be as honest as possible with you on this one. Yes, they are sleeping on the Redskins. And it's not just because of this past season. They've been doing this for a good part of 15 to 20 years now. I've sat here and I've thought about it. And the other part of that question is, yeah, I agree with you, Kareem. They do. So what's up, people on Periscope as well? Yeah, they are sleeping on them. The Redskins always seem to be the punchline, whether it's an issue with the name. There are creative ways that the media likes to get out there and say, Washington, the Washington football team and all that good stuff. And I'm like, just say Washington. You don't want to say Redskins, don't say it. But we know you're talking about the Redskins. So yeah, Jay Gruden hurt us, Bruce Allen hurt us. That's another thing. We have not been smart. You have an owner who is very bullish with the media, so he has let them create the own narrative of him, whether he's a good guy, whether he's a jerk, whether he's somewhere in the middle. I'm from Arlington. I used to be a Skins fan in the prime of Clinton Portis and Sean Taylor days. Oh, okay, Bobby. So Dan Snyder, he lets them create the narrative, right? I'm not saying he's a good guy. I'm not defending him. I will say he is a different character. And he's a fan. I think he's too much of a fan. I've been a fan since 72-ish. Hey, yes, we got old school up in here. Well, that's good. I think just him letting them create the narrative, and then the hiring of Vinny Serrato, then the firing of Vinny Serrato for Bruce Allen, and not stepping in when needed. I think he's heard the noise that people said, well, these people are running your team into the ground. Now you've noticed over the last 2 seasons that FedEx Field does not sell out. So, the argument goes like social distancing. People might not be able to sit near each other at the stadium. Nobody comes. A lot of people don't go to Redskin games anyway. So why would they have to social distance? And that's not a joke. That's actually a fact. But I finally do think he is starting to get, just like Cream says, the Jet. Come on, Bobby. The Jets. You've been a Jets fan? Oh no, Jets! Isn't that like just in the season? That's what. I'm kidding. I'm just having a good time. But for real, the I'm sorry. The Jets, they got me. No, but They've allowed the media to control the narrative. I don't think that that's a fault of Dan Snyder, yes, but here are some points that I think the Redskins, why people are sleeping on the Redskins right now. New coach. They don't have this confidence in Dwayne Haskins, which I don't understand. Why don't you have confidence in this cat? And the Redskins, I don't know who's in their PR department, but ever since Tony Wiley's gone, they seem like they're making a little bit of sense. What's up, Matt Williams? Since '86, woo! They have made a conscious effort to make this young man the young man that he like to look and appear. But I'm going to tell you this right now. They don't need to do this. This cat is a professional. This cat is a professional. He his writing, I would recommend y'all go listen to the Redskins podcast talk and listen to him talking with JP Finley. And this dude gets it. He came into a situation where the coach didn't want him. The coach really didn't care of anything. And if you listen to the stories about Jay Gruden, towards the end, he was a quote-unquote perfectionist, but they always seemed to do all these gaffes and everything. My biggest thing I've learned about Jay Gruden was he was okay in 2018 with going into the season with Colt McCoy. Any man who thought that needs to have their head examined, he probably was on some kind of crack. But we knew he was smoking with those young blonde ladies down there in Richmond, I guess during training camp or somewhere up there in Ashburn. We don't know. But smoking J's, he might have been snorting lines too. Leon Jackson, it's trendy to hate on everything Skins these days. I like being slept on. And that'll be to everyone's detriment. That's where I'm getting at. It is going to be to everybody's detriment. And I honestly think that there's always a surprise team. This team can be that surprise team. You know, Russell Wilson said it back when they had that Super Bowl run in 2013. Why not us? Right? Why not the Skins? Why can't it be the Skins to be the team? Everybody's saying, well, let's be patient. Why are the NFL flips every year. Why do we have to be patient? Why do we have to accept 6 and 10? And I'm one of these people who think, do I think that we're going to win 10, 12 games this year? No, I don't think so. I think this is going to be a building block system. But I will give you some points here that'll make you think this rebuild is going to be quicker than a lot of people are thinking, including myself. So I'm going to shoot myself in the foot and maybe even contradict myself. Exactly. I got to read the comments from Periscope. Why not us? At least 2 teams go from worst to say, yeah, you're at what was it in the NFC South for years? It was like the worst team the previous year was the best team, and they put like a good number of those teams in the Super Bowl. It was like from 2002 to 2012 or something like it was something crazy. But the performance, it's a performance-based league. That's why they're sleeping on us. Why shouldn't they sleep on us? Have you seen this man, Dwayne Haskins? What's up, Skins fan? All day? How you feeling? I know he's Skins fan all day. We're going to get to Chase Young in a minute. But why should they sleep on us? If I'm ignorant, we've got a quarterback who played terrible last year, right? Because people look at the big picture, but they don't look at the microcosm. They don't look at he had a terrible beginning because he wasn't prepared. He didn't have the proper preparation. If you go looking for if you go acting a play and you don't memorize your lines, or your coach or your director doesn't give you the script, how are you going to perform? How are you going to look good? How are you going to get the Golden Globes and the acclimate? No preparation. What's up, PMIP? Yeah, they always hating on us. If you don't prepare, you are going to fail. You are set up for failure. This is like, I liken it to TLC My 600-Pound Life. You have all these people who have eating problems, disorders, because they have not been conditioned. They have to be reconditioned. They have to be prepared for success at home to lose the weight, to trim the fat. The Redskins finally went to Dr. Now and they got the surgery. They gutted that fat, the underbelly, which was Bruce Allen, which was Jay Gruden, which was Big Old Tony too, the PR guy. They don't get it. We see this team every day. Big picture media doesn't see the improvement. I'm not saying be like, oh, we're going 16-0. That's not the case. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that this team has made strides. And Ron Rivera is a juicer. He is Jack LaLanne. He's going to throw that fruit and get the most juice out of that. Jay Gruden squeezed once. How many times did they have? Name me one elite player they had on that fifth outside of Cam Newton that was elite on that 2015 Carolina Panther team. Josh Norman? Yeah, they had Luke Kuechly. But I mean, they weren't elite. They were really good players. This man he can strain the juice out of them. And he can pivot. Ron Rivera said, you can win. We're going to win my way. He said, I can get you to succeed, but you got to do it my way. He said, 'cause I'm not going to do. And if we do it my way and fail, then it's on me. I like that. So let them sleep on us. Like I said, why shouldn't they sleep on us? They don't get Dwayne Haskins. Like you start seeing this, that the letter that he wrote. And now this interview, wow, he just seems like he's really smart. He's really like, oh man, he's really smart. I didn't really see this side of him. One, they didn't let this side be from him. The dude's intelligent anyway. So that wasn't impressive. What was impressive to me was the growth of this brother. The fact that he could have made excuses, but he didn't. He put it on him. That's another thing. I'm going back to the big folks. The people that have the most success in losing that weight on their shows are the people who take personal responsibility. It doesn't matter. They don't give a damn about what happened in the past or who did this to them or who did what to them. They're like, I can only focus tunnel vision going forward. We can't look back. You know what happened if you're driving at night and you look behind your shoulder? That's right. That damn deer is going to pop up and hit you right in your car and mess your car all up. We can win. You're right. You're absolutely right. People want to win sexy all the time. That's the thing. Two of the ugliest wins, the Redskins win ugly. Back in 2005, that big year that they had, they won ugly down the stretch. 2007, 2012. Sometimes you got to have a little luck. San Francisco, you look at a lot of their wins last year. Were they really that good, or did the ball bounce their way a couple of times? Take away. Look at that. There's about 5 or 6 games. They won 12. You take away 5 of those games, they're 7-9. Not in the playoffs. But and I talked about the J.P. Finley interview that he had. He talked about the Tua situation, which that aggravated me a lot, was the fact that Dwayne was on here. He had to defend his life because of the setup of the previous coaching staff. And he heard the noise about Tua. You know it did. You see how many times he's in social media. And Ron asked him, said, hey, trust me, trust him. And what did he do? He trusted Ron, and Ron didn't let him down. He's learning every day. He's growing. And, you know, we've said this before with Yemi. The fact that, name me a 22-year-old that has it all together. You can't. Heck, I know 42-year-olds, 52-year-olds that don't have it all together. 62-year-olds that don't have it all together. But they learn. They're learning. Maybe it's too little too late, but not for this kid. But yeah, he just looks like he's growing, he's focused, and he looks lean, y'all. If you look at him from the time he's drafted, and I don't know if it's the camera angles or what, but the brother, you can see in his face, he looks leaner. He looks sharper. He doesn't look distracted. He doesn't look like he's hearing that noise. And you got to commend the Redskins for this. I'll tell you this much. They have not put him out there on an island to have to fend for himself. They have not. And I give them credit for that. They have not put Dwayne on an island to fend for himself and then be like, hands up, don't know. No. They know that they have to get this right. And they can get it right. You can tell in the people he admires. He admires competitors. Tom Brady, Kobe Bryant. He's got the murals down in his basement. Simba, Mufasa. Yeah, you're right. You have to. I agree with you on that one, Skins fan. But you know, and another reason why these people are sleeping, let me tell you something. I'm gonna give you a number. 12-5 is Ron Rivera's record against the NFC East. Overtime, right? 12-5. You take away the games against the Redskins. That record is 8-3. Here, I'll give you another one. He's 2-2 against Mike McCarthy. So you throw that on top of that. That gets you at 10-4. Excuse me. That gets you, Lord, I can't do math right now. That gets you at 11-5 right there. Right? Yeah. Somebody was talking, and I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about Ron Rivera's getting ready to have a rude awakening in the NFC East. He's run through. He's embarrassed NFC East teams. He's embarrassed us many a time. He's embarrassed the Giants. And Giants have embarrassed him too. The Eagles. He's done it before. The Cowboys on Thanksgiving. They retired Tony Romo. They retired him. Ron Rivera's squad retired Tony Romo on national television. So don't come at me with this crap and saying, oh, well, hey, he's in for it, or this team can't finish. He knows how to navigate this division. Joe Judge. How long has Joe Judge been in New England? Either way, Ron Rivera hasn't lost to them. He's 2-0. Just 2-0 against Bill Belichick. How many people can claim that? Tom Coughlin in the Super Bowl. Right? Come on now. Look at it. Look at it. Numbers do not lie. And I'll tell you what. I'll tell you another thing. You got a room loaded full of talent on the offense side of the ball. I'm not even getting into the defense just yet. Got a chance to listen to Thaddeus Moss, the undrafted tight end H-back from LSU, which I commend this dude. He could have went anywhere. He could have went to New England. He could have went to Cincinnati and played with Joe Burrow. He decided to come to Washington because that was the first team that called him. So kudos to him on that one. He's looking to disprove the name, the doubt that he's only here because of his daddy's name. I liked what I heard out of him. Go to Redskins.com and find that out. Another dude y'all need to look up, Keith Ishmael, the center guard. This cat right here, he gets it. He gets it. I mean, he talks about being a Swiss Army knife, talking about how he knows what everybody's doing on the offensive line when he was in college. He said he could start at center one day and be at guard the next week. It goes back to the versatility that we keep on talking about. Everybody, you have to be more than a one-trick pony. And then, and you see Antonio Gandy Golden. He's talking about he models his game after Larry Fitzgerald. I can't wait to see if he can actually take that and that want and make it actuality, which I think he can. The people don't get. I mean, sleep. Keep on sleeping on us. Keep on sleeping. Like, I don't think people realize it. There are holes in this schedule. Now, I don't know about the crackhead who did the Thanksgiving in Dallas, then at Pittsburgh and at San Francisco, because if that's not a butt slapping, I don't know what is. But we're always predicting from the previous season. We're not looking ahead. We're looking on production from the previous season. We're looking at an old regime. Peyton Manning was 3-13. And I'm not comparing Dwayne Haskins to Peyton Manning. But it was 3-13 in his rookie season. Flipped it around. What they go? Did they go 13-3 that year? I think they went 13-3 that year. That still today is the biggest one-season turnaround. 10 games in NFL history. Think about that. If the Redskins do half of that, that's 5. That gets you to 8-8. If you luck up, if the ball bounces your way, that's 2 more. That's 6-10. That's usually a division championship in the NFC East. You can't tell me that this team can't beat the Eagles once. Can't play competitive ball at Arizona, at Cleveland. Maybe get blown out against Baltimore. We don't know. But will Lamar Jackson relapse? We don't know. Who else? I don't know what's going to be worse this year. The Rams jerseys or their actual record. The only thing that I can see that's going to be bone color is their bone dry win total, right? I don't get it. I don't get it, Skins fan. The disrespect is on an all-time high with our skin. You're right. I don't get it. They had to, honestly, they had to hire a man to come in here, and still this man is getting disrespected. Then you have Kyle Smith, who his dad is renowned. Redskins got the talent to beat any of those teams. I think so. I think so. Ha. They really do have the talent. Like, I'm not a big fan of predicting schedule. I'm just saying keep an open mind. Look at this. I'm not saying we're going 6-0 in the NFCs. Because I know that's not possible. Right? No. You're right, Benai Nizzle. Yeah. We're looking at our old 2. Yes. Yep. We're running our offense through the tight end. We aren't running our offense through the tight end anymore. Back to Smash Mouth football. Right. Key. It's a matter of how we're coached. Right. It's only because our name and all. You're right. What's up, Dubs family? How you doing? Yo, let me get this link up in here real quick. If you want to come on, talk, give me your 2 cents. It's right there in the comments, especially on YouTube. It's there, and I think it's on It's on Periscope. Right. Come on now. That's right. Like I said, San Francisco, this team was, and you can't tell me Jimmy G was worth 12 wins. Jimmy G was not worth 12 wins. Homeboy lost to Atlanta at home. And Atlanta wasn't worth a $4 bill this year. We weren't worth a $6 bill, but either way. I think we will. I think we will see that, John. I think I would love to see the Redskins shock the world. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't think it's a love thing. I think the Redskins are going to do some damage and they're going to break some people's heart. Now, do I think this will translate into the playoffs? It's May. It's May. Let me say this again. Come here. Look at me. Look at me. It's May. We don't know yet. Stop. Just stop. Like everybody, just stop with these predictions, these 6 and 10s and all this. Oh, like it's God. That's what Madden's for, homeboys and homegirls. It's yeah. You can turn the ship. You can turn that ship around. But I'm talking about preaching patience and confidence. Confident patience. That's where I'm at right now. You're right. We do have the most talented defense. We got the most talented defensive front in the NFL. You add Chase Young. You've got Ryan Kerrigan already there. You've got Payne. You've got Ioannidis, Tim Settle, and my favorite out of all them brothers, Jonathan Allen. When this brother speaks, I sit down and listen with a smile because this cat gets it. Jonathan Allen gets it. And he's sick of losing. He didn't come back home just to lose. He came here. Hey, he came here to get a winner. And then you look at the linebacker situation. You got Thomas Davis, right? You've got we got John Bostic back. You got Cole Holcomb. And I've been saying this, I'm going to say this all off season. The Redskins have difficult decisions to make come the end of the preseason or whenever it is. They have difficult decisions to make. And that's the best situation you want to be in. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, B Nizzle. That means a lot to me. Y'all think about it. Look at this. Look at me now. Reuben Foster, your boy. Reuben Foster, yep, that's right. Reuben Foster, if he can stay healthy. We've got all these cats on this roster. Secondary is spotty. I'm just going to say that right now. Speaking of secondary, the Redskins in the I don't really care because he probably won't make it. Aaron Colvin. He'll be 29 in October. He re-signed with the Redskins. He was signed after he got burned on national television, not by a fire, but by the Ted Ginn Express, which led to Will Lutz and the Saints kicking a game-winning field goal against the Houston Texans. And he appeared in 6 games. First game was against San Francisco. So, bro, who cares, right? Who cares? I saw him on the field when I went to when we played the Giants. I was like, "Who's 47?" I was like, "Oh, that's Aaron Colvin." It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's like what I got on my first grade spelling test. Nobody cares. He ain't gonna be here probably come the fall. You got Landon Collins in the secondary. You've got Ronald Darby, who suffers from second and third degree burns. We've got Kendall Fuller now. Fam, I just The only thing, the Redskins' only enemy this year, it's fine. It's not actually themselves. That's the one thing. That's the beauty about this offseason. The Redskins aren't their own enemy this year. Time, availability is their enemy. This whole situation that we're in now with the COVID-19 virus, that is their enemy. Just with like everybody else. Right? Think about that. The Redskins, how many times can you look in the offseason and say the Redskins aren't their own enemy? You can't. Probably back to when Gibbs was here. Redskins aren't their own enemy. There's no controversy that isn't predicated by the media. There's none. Absolutely no controversy. The only thing that's done is made up by the minute. Our enemy is coaching in Jacksonville. Yeah, you're right. Ted Ginn is a burner. Yes, he is. That's why Aaron Colvin came to Washington. They said he was still smoking on the plane when he came to Washington. Our talent is fine. What are the coaches going to do with it? Right, exactly. Don't forget, we have Terry McLaurin, Sims, AAG, Bryce Love, Guy Gibson. We have those guys. Yeah, the offense. I haven't even got to the offense yet. People are worried about it. And the biggest thing, and I was one of these people that fell into this this concern over the tight end spot. I'm still nervous about it, but maybe these cats know what they're doing. Paul Horner or whatever his name, Pete Horner, he's been doing this for years. I think he knows what he has there, or the ability to get something else. It's about being patient. That's what's wrong with this world today. We always want stuff now. We want it right now. Not slow down. What's the best thing? That's why I say, if you want something good. See, this is what barbecuers, pit masters, they get this. They get this in life. Everything is better, slower. Everything is better. Brisket, ribs, they're all better, slower. Ron Rivera is going to be the pit master. He wants everything to be slow so you can taste success in the burnt ends that come with it, right? Come on. I know we got some folks on here that don't deal with pork. But think about it. Brisket. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for here. Sorry for the food reference and the weight reference this so far today, but hey, it's like I'm saying, y'all. I think they got. I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. Should I be? Maybe, but I'm not. I'm chilling. I get excited every time I see something. This is the first time in a while that I get up in the morning and I actually actively go look for good news. Because last season was rough. The season before that was rough. The season before that was a tease. The season before that was a tease. And then the season before that, we just backed into everything, right? But I'm telling y'all, don't you think because of what you saw last year in the confusion that was led on by Mr. Allen and the perfectionism of Jay Gruden, or what he appeared to put out as being a perfectionist. He wasn't. You make the joke that Jesus probably couldn't impress Kirk Cousins. Jay Gruden. Or whatever deity you pray to. Think about that. Yeah. Moss is built to be an H-back. Yeah, he's 6'2", 250, can block it. And I think that's what they're going to have him at. I think this is going to be like Chris Cooley 2.0. Think about it. I really do. Nobody knew who Chris Cooley was. They didn't even really know who they had in Chris Cooley back in 2004. They were starting Walter Rasby. Maybe coaching staff get it. Did his name maybe have something to do with it? Possibly. But that don't matter though, y'all. It's about what he can do. He came in clutch at LSU multiple times down the stretch. So I think he's going to add a wrinkle to that offense. You have this offensive line. I think the offensive line, there is questions at tackle. I think that's the weakest spot on this offensive line. But who they've added to build that interior, because you got that strong interior, and Yemi and I, we talked about this before. You build that interior, you build that front. It's okay if your towers. It's okay if your towers are average. I'm not saying below average, but they can be average. Now we're gonna miss Trent Williams. Yeah, you can't replace that. Wait a minute, yeah, you did, because he hadn't played for you in almost 2 years, so you can replace it. Yeah, you're right. I agree. No, I disagree with you on that. He never developed a successful quarterback. He developed Andy Dalton, right? I can't even say that with straight face. No, I agree with you. But you add Ishmael, who, like I said, I read some of this. I listened to this guy. He gets it. He's sharp. You've got Roulier in there. You've got Brandon Sheriff coming back. You got Wes Martin, who showed signs, who actually should have scored a touchdown against the Giants, but can't fumble forward and score in the last 2 minutes of a ball game. You've got this core. You got these core guys. You got the guy from Atlanta, the other West, Schweitzer, or whatever his name is. I can't say it. And then, you got Sadiq Charles, who this dude, if he can keep his head clean, bruh, if Sadiq Charles can keep his mind right and get surrounded by the right folks, Trent who? Write it down. Trent who? It's conditional. It's like a draft pick. It's conditional, y'all. I'm telling you. This dude is a beast. Big time question on Sadiq Charles. Is a left guard, in my opinion, due to his short arms. I hear you. I hear you, y'all. Yeah, I mean, but the one thing we got to do is Skins fan. I hope he's still on here. Your boy Morgan Moses, brother. We're gonna have to go down to Richmond and find him. We're gonna have to lay hands on him or something, just to make sure he can't hold. He won't be holding folks. You got this Cornelius kid that's a left tackle too. He can be that swing tackle, something that we had with Nseki. Can play both spots. The only thing is I hope he can stay healthy, unlike Nseki. So this offense, they can get things going. Once Scott Turner gets it there, and Scott Turner's got a lot to prove. There's a lot of people. Dwayne Haskins, right? Scott Turner, Thaddeus Moss. They are trying to break out from shadows. Scott with his dad, Thaddeus with his dad. Dwayne Haskins is trying to break out of the doubters that wanted the Redskins to draft Tua. Dwayne Haskins hadn't had a hit. Dwayne Haskins has not had a history of bodily speed bumps as Tua Tagovailoa. Charles will be with a coach that don't. Yeah, you're right. My concern is about the offense more. Scott Turner is like experience. Right. But we had a young man who was here who's the head coach of the Rams, I think that he has prepped. Scott has prepped for this. Now, down the stretch when he took over as the offensive play caller, this team Carolina had already checked out. You had Will Greer, who played like the last two games. I think that game against Indianapolis, and then they won the other game at the end of the season. Or did it? No, they lost. I'm sorry. I was thinking about the previous season. Yeah. Sadiq Charles has all the talent to be a very good left tackle, but his character issues concern. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. ESPN, they like to talk about people's moms being crackheads and blowing up half of Central Park and everything. And then they made a point of Sadiq Charles. He's a follower, more of a leader. No pun intended. I'm just going to say this. You can't have more Indians. You can't have more Chiefs than you have Indians. Right? You can't. It's just not it's not plausible to have that. So you're going to have some followers. I was in a fraternity in college. And we said we're building leaders. Every man's a leader, right? Well, you can be a leader, but not every leader has to follow an example of another leader. So he can learn. Like I said, if you get him around the right culture, and like I said in a couple videos before, I would be more concerned with Sadiq Charles and this drafting of him if it was a Bruce Allen, Jay Gruden, whoever else draft pick. I would be. I'm not that concerned. Because either he'll shine, he'll float, or he'll sink. But they'll give him the tools to help him float. Like I said, the kid's 22, 21. You tell me a 21-year-old who has it all together, and I'll show you somebody who's lying. Scott Turner's there, yeah, Norval. Haskins has all the talents to be great. We just need to stick with him. The media tears this kid every... Yes, it's disgusting how, and I know the theories. I have my own theories. But I talk about sports. I don't talk about politics. That's the only thing. I don't do it because we don't come here to talk about politics. We come here to talk about sports. And the way they have dragged this kid has been totally classless in the media, in whoever. But the fact that they have, and however you want to think about it, they have built up Joe Burrow. We say this all the time. If Joe Burrow is so great, why did Dwayne Haskins beat him out? Was it a system? Maybe. But Joe Burrow was there for 3 years at Ohio State. And you mean to tell me he couldn't crack the roster? And he comes from the SEC, which is like skill position. They really need to change it to the SPC, skill position conference. That's exactly what they do, because they produce all these wide receivers and running backs and tight ends and everything. The SPC, the skill position conference. That's what it is. I'm changing the SEC right there. That's the reason why they say roll tide and go Tigers. Because they go. That's all they do. They know speed, all this stuff. 980. Yes, 980 is bad, 980 is bad, but 1067. I can't listen to them cats. I can't read them. My thing is, I respect 980 because they will stick with their stance. and they will stick with it till they are blue in the face. 106.7 The Fan, they will get their feelings hurt. They will get their feelings hurt. Like, it's like kindergarten stuff. Mommy, Dwayne blocked me because I said he didn't throw the ball right. Grow up, Grant. Grow up, Chris Russell. And for my conspiracy theorists out there, go look up the lineup on 106.7 The Fan. What's something glaring to you about their talent there? I didn't say it, but I just want you to go look at it. Just go look at it for a second. Yeah, I like Kevin Sheehan. I like Kevin Sheehan on there on 980. I listen to his podcast. I listen to JP Finley. I recommend everybody go listen to those guys. But he did make a point about the media in DC, which is kind of different than anywhere else, I guess. The DC media is made up of old players, former players, and fans. Very few are of opposing opinions. They've got old Big Thom Lavero, who's not a fan of the Redskins, but he's covered them for years. Like, you can be critical of a team. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying everything's rosy and daisy. You can be critical of a team and be tactful. That's what I try to do. Do I do the greatest job? Probably not. There are probably people who can do it better. Right? You said that, B Nizzle. You said that. You looked it up. You looked it up. Ding, ding, ding. If I had a bell, I'd ring it for you. But you see where I'm getting at, right? Haskins needs experience. Yes. Yes. How many times, for y'all that have kids, I don't have any yet, but how many times did your kid fall before he learned how to crawl? How many times did they fail before they even rolled over? I'll tell you something. We saw Dwayne Haskins flip over, crawl, and begin to walk in a 6-week span. Go back and look at the tape. He struggled to flip over against the Jets. He finally flipped over against the Lions. He started to crawl against Carolina. Stay with me, church, and I'll bless you here in a second. He started to endure. He started to feel the weight against Green Bay, right? He started to feel it. And then against Philadelphia, right? Homeboy started walking. And then against the Giants, homeboy was walking. He was jogging a little bit. Then he caught the Charlie horse. That injury came up. Do you see it? It's the same thing. And I will always say this. When Kirk Cousins was here, I liked Kirk Cousins. It got stale. But what was one of the reasons why Kirk Cousins wasn't successful to begin with? He had somebody behind him. He had somebody behind him in RG3, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. But if you have somebody behind you, you can't tell me white, black, yellow, red, blue. If you see a cop car behind you, you don't start slowing up and extra stepping, taking extra steps to make sure you don't get pulled over. You might start sweating. You might start sweating too. Be like, oh God, my tent. Oh Lord, is my inspection sticker out if you're in Virginia. So don't tell me when you hear footsteps, that's not a figure of speech. That's a real thing. He always knew. Dwayne knew he was replaceable in those games when he went out against the Giants. And Jay Gruden did that ignorant mess and was like, you know what? Go out. Why? Why did Case tear his fallopian tube or something? I don't know. What was it? And then you had the ignorance to start Colt McCoy, who shouldn't be on a football field, who shouldn't even have a contract in the National Football League. Good luck, Giants. Have fun with old Texas Colt. Haskins was learning to crawl with the step. Yep, you're right. Had no love for the quarterback. That's right. Brothers like Cinderella, pretty much. Had them evil stepsisters and everything. What I hate about our family is that they don't understand the concept. No. And I don't even think it's just with our fan base, right? That we don't understand. The media apparently doesn't understand development. Well, development in some sense. Sam Darnold, he hadn't impressed me. Why does Blaine Gabbert keep on getting he doesn't develop? These cats don't develop. This is not. Look, we don't. This isn't cash now. This is not J.G. Wentworth. It's not your money and you want it now. You don't get it now. It's like playing the stock market. It develops over time. It's a savings account. A quarterback is a savings account. You invest in him. You invest in that. You put your money away. It's a reason why mom and dad put $10 away every week until you turn 21. That's why college is a little bit more affordable. It's a reason why grandma bought you a piggy bank so you could save, so it could mature, so it teaches you some responsibility. Come on now. People don't get this. Why are they? It goes back to the point. They are sleeping. Stop sleeping. Wake up. Stop sleeping. People got sleep apnea or something. They go, oh. And then you're going to see next year. Yeah, they do. They hate the team. In the recent success, and I'll say it like this, the recent success of the Capitals and the Nationals haven't helped. People love the Wizards more than they like the Redskins. I appreciate you, Turf Wars. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you, buddy. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that comment. But y'all get it, though. I'm not going to tiptoe around it. And don't think if Dwayne does something in his power that is on him, don't think I'm not going to be critical of him. That's the one thing. All this building up, I am building this up on what I see on the eye test. It's almost like Mary Poppins. You can call me the fairy football fan right here. I've got the eye test. I got hope. And I got a little bit of sense up here. Hope is a little bit less, but sense. I know what I've seen. In this media, I know what the media will do. I know what 1067 The Fan will do. They'll be like, well, we just Chris Russell. God love him. I respect what the brother does for autism and everything. I really do. But as far as him covering this team, he will sit there and get in his feelings. Like I told you this before. He got mad about something, a tweet. How dare it was about the Trent Williams situation. And somebody said, dude, why are we still talking about it? Let's just get over it. Stop being the jealous girlfriend, boyfriend. Stop being that. We get you got a job to do. And he's like, oh, how dare I do my job? This is just 2 days old. You know what? Get your little despondent butt off of there. If you can't handle stuff, get off Twitter. Just get off Twitter. Don't do it no more. Right? You can't take criticism. People take heat all the time. We take criticism here on YouTube as fans all the time. But you don't get, if you put yourself out there, you're going to be known for criticism and you have to handle it. Fair and unfair. And I told him, you've covered Kirk Cousins for the last 2 seasons. He's not in this market. We've only seen him on one of our market games that you cover. He's not in the NFC East. He's in the NFC North with the Vikings. You'll only see him once, maybe twice if you get to the playoffs. But that's it. So shut the heck up. Move on. Get over it. She doesn't love you. Kirk doesn't love you like that anymore. And maybe he never did. I'm telling y'all. We get over it, and then we talk about this stuff. Like once training camp happened, I'm not talking about Greg Minuski anymore. I'm not talking about Jay Gruden anymore. I'm like, who? Greg Minuski, the guy who's on the 92 team? That guy, is that who you're talking about? 91 team? Is that who you're talking about? Jay Gruden, wasn't he the offensive coordinator in Cincinnati? This is me. I'm going Men in Black style. I'm going to get my fiance. I'm going to be like, Anna, come up here, take this bleeper, put this in. You have forgotten everything about the last 5 years in Washington, the coach and everything. Burn it out right there. Will Smith, call him. I'm calling. Boom, done. What? Ron Rivera? Yeah, that's all. Because that's one thing we do so well. And we do it in life too. But we find a way to get comfortable and blame the past. I'm looking forward after August because we still got to go and do and review a whole bunch of stuff before then, right? But yeah. I mean, y'all think about that. We sit here and holy cow, man. You can be critical and be tactful. That's fine. But don't get mad because the dude blocked you. We don't have enough internal. The line I hate is that's the guy you want to have beer with. Right. But can he coach? Hello? This is what people say. See now, business, I'm mad at you, man. Because look, I was almost off my soapbox. People have said these Ron Rivera press conferences are boring. Jay Gruden was more entertaining. Do you want wins? Or do you want entertainment? I tell you what, you can eat your sandwich and have them both. If you win, you get entertainment. Because you have more joy at what you do. I'm tired of sitting here and it's like, what went wrong? This is what went wrong. Because you know what? This is what's wrong with society. We always focus on the bad. It's like you said, it's the same thing. It's all blind hatred. It's biased. Now, if you want to be a pundit or something, go on CNN. That's fine. But you need to present this in a way that is cannot be construed as biased. We as humans, we're going to be biased. A little bit of bleep out. But that's fine, though. We need a better secondary. Yes, I agree with that. That is a weakness. Gregory Lightbody, what's up, buddy? But y'all, I'm just saying, we can get there. We can definitely get there. But you got to have some patience. Can you talk about Snyder? One of the biggest problems we have is that he just does not hire the right guys at the top. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll touch on Danny Boy. And you know, I've touched on this before. I can be the most opinionated person on a lot of personalities. Dan Snyder, I have no opinion on him for the most part. Like, whether he's a good guy, bad guy, whatever. You know, the social construct of being good and bad, right? I think Dan Snyder means well. I really do. Do I think he gets a bad rap? Yes. Do I think he brings it on himself? Absolutely. I've heard. So I had a colleague that worked with the Redskins in 2016. They didn't see him that much. You called him Mr. Snyder. Now, if that's a fear that he's put into people, say you call him Mr. Snyder, that's him. You know what? You write the checks, whatever. I don't care. I'll call you Uncle Danny if you want me to, as long as you give me my check every 2 weeks, right? I think he's too much of a fan. I think he thinks this is Madden. Like, you can't just turn off the salary cap and go and get every top free agent and expect him to work out. He should have learned that in 2000, right? He should have learned that. And North last year. He should have learned that when you went out and got Mark Carrier and Deion Sanders and Jay Lewenberg and Larry Sanders. Was Larry Sanders on the team? Yeah, Larry Sanders came and right, yeah, he was in there in 2000. You know, you just can't do that, y'all. You can't. And then you go back 2 years later, following the same thing. Spend money on Jesse Armstead and Jeremiah Trotter, who didn't last. And then Adam Archuleta, Brandon Lloyd, Antoine Randall, Christian Fourier. You know, these guys, they just didn't pan out. They weren't in the right system. I'm not sold on Ron Rivera. That's fair. I can get that. I can understand that. Do I agree? No, I don't. But I can see. I respect you. I'm assuming that's and Bruce Smith. God, how can I forget sack chasing Bruce Smith, the record chaser? That's what he was doing, right? I know I was forgetting something. Thanks, Dubs. Good looking out for me, man. I need that golden hat now. If I had that gold hat, right, I'd probably be all right then. Yeah, I understand why you're not sold on him. You know, he had a couple losing seasons in there. I mean, he made the playoffs on losing records. Yeah, I did say Neon Dion, Tommy Wonderful. Ignore you're live. I didn't get your text, Brad. Let me see. Possibly, dude. Possibly. We might. Give me till 7:15. Let's see. Well, I lost my spot. Yeah, Haskins. Yeah, I think Gregory. I think he did lose about 20 pounds. You could tell that in his face. Neon Dion. It's not Snyder's fault we didn't promote. Hey, man, I don't know, dude. If you the owner and the last hatchet falls with you, I really do think it is Dan's fault. I got you, and that's fair. That's absolutely fair. You know, Bobby Mitchell, he took a lot, and you look at, hey, I got a video on Bobby Mitchell. Not 30 yet, but I know the importance of Bobby Mitchell. Go and check that video out if you haven't. Yeah, he got slapped. Bobby Mitchell was slapped by this team too many doggone times. Too many times. But he stood it out. And that, I mean, that is, I don't say you want to look up to sport. You don't want your kids looking up to sports players as role models, but the perseverance. Was it Cook? Yeah, it was. That's right. You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. That was my younger years. You're absolutely right. That was under Cook. Yeah. Oh God, Mr. Cook. Probably Mr. Cook didn't want Doug Williams too, but Joe made it happen, right? But yeah, I mean, y'all think about that. Keep on like this. We got holder cards. I think we'll be good. But like I said about Dan Snyder, he's messed up a couple of times. No, Dan Snyder. You know what I was thinking about beating this? Dan Snyder was the owner when Bobby Mitchell, when Steve Spurrier gave Leonard Stevens number 49. And for all you guys know, the illustrious career that Leonard Stevens had with the Washington Redskins garnered him to have number 49. Right. No, but yeah, that's where I got it mixed up at. Yes, thank you. But thank you for correcting me on that. But y'all, I'm telling you, this team will be all right. They will improve incrementally. I think they're going to be better. They have opportunity at the beginning of the season, and then that bye in the middle. I'm going to say now, we'll sweep the Giants. I ain't blinking. The Rams don't impress me. They don't. I think that Sean McVay, he is finally being faced with adversity, and you can't talk your way out of adversity. And I like Sean McVay. It's going to be a problem with the Rams. The Cardinals, Cliff Kingsbury, he's never had a win. He didn't have a winning record in college. That's going to bleed over, I think, into the NFL. No matter what the talent is you have with Kyler Murray, he does have a smart guy, Vance Joseph, running defense. What are we going to get out of Pittsburgh? We don't know. We really don't know. Yeah, he sure did give Shane Matthews that number. My God, he had no respect. Steve Spurrier had no respect. Dude. What you think we'll split with them? I don't know, man. I think we'll sweep the Giants. I think we'll go 3-3 in the division. I think we will. I think we might get the Eagles first. Like I said, it's preparation. It's the time that they have. The Redskins, the lack of the unknown for the Redskins can be their best friend and their biggest enemy. I'm not worried about any team that can't stop the run. I hear you. I think San Francisco is going to fall back again this year. I think that, Baltimore, I think we can beat Baltimore? Anything's possible, but I'm not punking myself and believing that just yet. I think because Baltimore's always prepared. Baltimore has a history of being Harbaugh gets his players prepared. I think the coaches that you see, the coaches you're going to struggle with. Mike Tomlin, he has his boys prepared. Good night. Can't really think of anybody else outside of him. We don't know what Matt Rule is going to give you. Doug Peterson, I guess you can say he hasn't prepared because he won a Super Bowl. Joe Judge, you don't know what you're going to get out of him. Cliff Kingsbury's only in year. This will be his second year. Mike McCarthy, he has his team. He has his teams prepared as long as Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a hissy fit. But guess what? He doesn't have that. But I think Dallas is going to have another issue with this proxy quarterback controversy that they may have created with Andy Dalton coming there to back up Dak. It's not like you're having Bernie Kosar coming up there backing up Troy Aikman. Well, we did talk about San Francisco last night. Luck in one-score games might run out. You're right. No, it's like baseball. That's like one of the most important stats. One-run games. But I'm confident in this team. I think that we can. I think they'll be competitive in a lot of games, and I think that competition. If you get like I said, what the Ron Rivera said, it takes 3 to 5 years to change a culture. Yes, but I think the competition and to get these guys that are hungry in there to win, and if you redirect that focus, like I told you this, and I'll tell you this story. Where I used to work at, I was a supervisor for old managers and trainers at the place. And the one thing that I learned in this whole situation, and this was me being a first-time manager, the one thing I learned was I can change the culture without changing the people, but redirecting their focus and getting them to buy in. If you can, and Ron can do this, redirect their focus and get them to buy in. That's what we'll do. And y'all, I'll tell you this, don't forget, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Please share the video. Make sure you like it. We are doing a jersey giveaway. We're going to 1,000. And when we do it, we're going to have this Redskin jersey giveaway. We're going to have the video. It's a battle to 1K. So we're on the Warpath to 1K. So appreciate it. I appreciate the conversation. All the chime-ins from Periscope, from YouTube, here on YouTube as well. I appreciate some of our friends coming over by from other channels. Dubs family, Skins fan all day. Greg Lightbody coming in. Ha, 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 ha. Thank you for coming in. B-Niz, appreciate you. Greg Lightbody. Turf Wars, one of our new folks here. Appreciate you. John Lynch, appreciate you too, man. Take that. Appreciate you. So I appreciate all y'all that have come by and give me your 2, 3, 4, 5 cream 2740. Just appreciate it. And the love, the support. And we appreciate you guys. And the Redskins, we coming back with vengeance, y'all. But yeah, be on the lookout also for some of these scouting the opponent pieces that we're going to put together and who we're going to talk about. So I think you all are really going to enjoy those. And hopefully we can get some opposing thoughts on from opposing teams. So we appreciate y'all. And as we say, as always, yes, no night games. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. No night games. I didn't say that at the beginning. No night games. First time since 1982. Check me on that. Avoids injury, creates turnover. Yeah. I like it, man. And then you get that proxy buy in the middle late. So when you go to Pittsburgh, night game, they'll be refreshed. We won't be sleeping. We'll be up. A lot of 1K, a lot of 1 p.m. games. I like it. I love it. In the West Coast games, 425, whatever. It's all good, but right now, no scheduled night games. That could change if the Redskins become competitive, win some games, and push themselves into party formation. I won't say the playoffs. Well, I just did. There you go. But as always, we say here on the Warpath, love, peace, and hail. And we will be talking to you all real soon. I'm Sanchez 405. I am out.